Hello, everybody. It's Drama Free Friday, all day long. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Millie. Hello, hello. Hi, Cindy. Chance is here. Chance is in the house. He has been talking to me, following me around. He does not want to miss everybody today because he's glad you're here. Hi, Franna. Franna, I forgot where you're from. Hi, Rhonda. I know you're in another part of the world. I know that. Hello, Nanette. Hi, Linda and Tim. Welcome, everybody. Boy, you guys were ready. You guys were on it today. Hi, Tori. You guys were on it today. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Linda. Oh, you're from Southern Illinois. What? In my head, you are from across the world somewhere. See, you could have told me anything, Fran. It wouldn't have mattered. I would have believed you because I have you in my head. You're somewhere across the world. That is too funny. That is too funny. Oh, that is funny. Evelyn, it's good to see you. I'm not sure I've seen your name in chat before, but I'm glad you're here. You are ready for today, Tori? Me too. Ruth Edwards. Oh my goodness. Hi, Purple Nana Linda. Hi, Annette. Boy, we got a worldwide group here today already. This cat has been, he knows it's Monday. He used to only know Friday. Now he knows Monday and Friday. And he has been a trip this week. He has been a trip. Goodness, he has been a trip. Hello, Jessica. Werner's Grin, Jessica. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a good day. If not, maybe this will help you have a better day. Yep, this kitty is not going to get shortchanged on Friday. And now he knows Monday, and he's not going to get shortchanged on Monday either. He's going to get camera time. He's going to get lap time. He's going to get catnip. He is going to get his just reward. Oh, so silly, this one. So silly. He's such a good boy. He's so much company. And I have some photos and a video to show you later. It just got better. Oh, good. My watch is talking to me. You were born in Arkansas. Franna, I don't know why I had you strongly in my head, like in Germany or the Netherlands or something. I don't know. That is so funny. He's a precious kitty. He is. He knows it. He knows it too. Hi, Mickey. You've been here for several years? Ah. But just you figured out the chat. Good. Hey, that's fine. You can chat or not chat. It does not matter. We enjoy chatters, but if you prefer to just watch, that is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So it's been a good week this week. Yeah. It's been a good week this week. Hi, Peggy. Peggy's my sister, in case you all don't know that. She is recovering from surgery. She better have her foot up. She better have her foot up. Oh, Evelyn, that was very nice. I'm glad you're here. I am so glad you're here. I say we because we, meaning the two of us, watch lots of streams and lots of YouTube videos together. There is a channel called Cat Games on YouTube, and Chance had not watched it for a while. I forgot about it. And the other night I put it on, or it might have been in the afternoon. I don't know. If I sit down, he is on my lap. And whenever it was sometime this week, and I put that on. there's one video on there that is just you're obnoxious, you know that? There's one video on there that's goldfish, and I think it's, artificially generated. I don't think they're real goldfish. Like, they're not video. It's not a video of goldfish chasing each other. And it's like 30 or 45 minutes or something of goldfish, and he loves it. He loves it. He regularly bats at the screen. If he's not batting at the screen trying to catch the fish, he's trying to look behind the phone to see if he can see where they are. And sometimes the pad of his foot mimics my fingers, and he'll stop the video. So he did that the other day. I fell asleep with him watching the cat games, the goldfish. And when I woke up, the video was only partly done, but he had turned it off. I don't know, maybe he was tired of watching. I don't know. Oh, he's a case. He is a case. Hey, Barbara Clark. Hello, hello. Hi, Tunder. I'm glad you're here. I forgot where you're from, Tunder. I'm so glad you're here. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Yeah, it does take some time to figure out the chat and all that stuff. Back in the day, when I very first discovered that YouTube videos and the live streams and stuff, it was all very new. It took a while before, first of all, I had to figure it out. Second of all, like just watching. So I had to figure out how to chat. And then I had to decide whether I was going to try it. Because some people don't want to get into the chat because they're afraid that the audience is not going to be accepting. And for the most part, most audiences online are. Hi, Dar. Dar, I don't know if you got, Artie Dar, I don't know if you got the message. You said something a couple of weeks ago about too bad that I didn't hit the record button. And all the YouTube videos are automatically recorded, and it sometimes takes them a little bit to get up online. YouTube gets pokey about stuff. Usually it's pretty immediate. So they're always online. I have no control over that. I can take them down, but I have no control over whether they record or not. They just do. You're in Romania. Tunder, I think you might be our first visitor from Romania. That's great. Hey, Ann Lar. Oh, it doesn't matter, Dar. I just wanted to clarify that. I tried to answer you last week not in the comments, but in the chat. I don't think I answered it in a comment. I did answer some comments today, though. It was like I set my timer for 20 minutes, and I said 20 minutes of answering comments is better than none at all. So that's really cool, Tender, that you're here from Romania. So we have Romania and Italy in the house so far, and Netherlands too. Hi, Becky. She's just what? You feeling meh? Boy. And Canada's in the house. Hey, Jan. And Chrissa. Chrissa's from Greece. Hi, Chrissa. And from my heart to yours as well, Chrissa. Thank you. So glad you're here. Chance is just shook his head and shook cat spit here and there. The cat is a mess. This cat's a mess. Anyway, crazy. Okay, so while Chance is, until he decides that he's got to have catnip, which he'll decide in a minute, we'll move the tea off the... He likes to put his head right up under my cup, and he's not very gentle. He's not very gentle. Yeah, Greece and Romania, I know. It's great. and all of the U.S. viewers. Thank you for being here. I had Franna in over in Europe someplace, and she's actually just a state away from me. I still think that's funny. It's like usually I'm fairly good about remembering something, some things about where people are from, but clearly not in Franna's case. Annette's in Sweden. See, I can't even keep track of where people are. I try to. But Annette, I usually put in the Netherlands. I don't know what that is. There are some people that I get stuck on something, and so Annette, I always have in the Netherlands. She's in Sweden. Crazy. Anyway, okay. It's so good to see Jan in the house. I don't get to see you. Tell Mr. Bear I said hello. Greetings and hello. I found this week in a magazine. There you go. No drama, people. No drama. It is called Drama Free Friday, and we added Drama Free Monday. In case you are new or have been under a rock, either one, I am broadcasting most Mondays at 7 Eastern, and then on Fridays at 2 Eastern. So it is drama free. By that, I mean that although there is so much crazy going on in the world, in the United States and the world, there is plenty of crazy to go around. When you come here, what we do is we declare it a drama-free zone, don't we? And we just suspend all that stuff and we just put it outside. You're in my studio space, and we put it outside the studio. We don't allow it to come in. We try to keep all the drama elsewhere. Once in a while, some of my opinions sneak in, but for the most part, we try and keep it out. So, yep, we just ignore it all. Oh, thank you, Krissa. It has been a long time since you've been here, I know. Annette wishes that she lived in the Netherlands because they have less snow, I bet. Keep your tail out of my face, okay? Please? Now he's rubbing his head on my papers. Okay, so it is Drama Free Friday. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been doing some writing. I do a lot of writing. It's where the crazy goes. The crazy gets out of me and onto the paper. I think I told you about this a while back. In fact, I think it was Monday. That was a while back. It was a few days ago, right? And I talked to you about when I really started journaling, actively journaling was quite a few years ago. And it was because I read the book, The Artist's Way, that somebody had shared with me. And she did it was Julia Cameron, I believe, is the author of the book. And she did a whole thing on brain drain and writing 3 pages a day in longhand. And so we talked about that on Monday. And so that's kind of where my active journaling practice started. So I've been doing it for a while. But most of that is stuff that I can't really read to you because that's where the real crazy lives. And it has to get out of me and get on paper. And back when I started that, my son was still at home, and I said to him and his dad, I said, see this notebook? It's a red spiral-bound notebook. I don't even have it anymore. I think I burned it up. And I said, see this red notebook? If you pick this up and read it, your feelings are probably going to get hurt because it's just me getting, it's literally the brain drain. You just, whatever's in your head rolls out and onto paper, and then it's done. And I don't do exactly that same exercise now, but I do still do some of that. Anyway, I don't know if they ever read it or not, and it doesn't matter. Anne writes every day. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that, Anne. Oh, that's cool. Do any of the rest of you write every day? It snowed yesterday, Annette. Oh, my goodness. With hail, snow and hail. Oh, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you, Annette. That would really irritate me. Anyway, so from that, I decided that I was just going to share some of my musings with you. Cindy tries. Cool. Ugh. Ah, okay. I understand, Nana. Nana Linda. Yeah, paint over it. Absolutely. Did I show you those? Hold on. Let me go see if I can put my hand on a journal. I'll show you what I'm talking about. That we were just referencing. Can you give me a minute? Chance will entertain you probably by showing you inappropriate parts of his body. Hi. Are you being a good boy? Did you keep everybody in line while I was gone? Were you good? Okay, it's not this one. Oh, that was pretty good, Chance. That was pretty good. Okay, well, I found one. I know I have another one. I'll let you look at this one while I look for the other one. So, chat amongst yourselves just for a second. Yeah. Shockingly, I found them. Yeah. You make journals tender? Cool. The Crown Raven. Oh, it's good to see you. I'm not sure that I've seen... Hey, Kimberly. I'm not sure that I've met you, Crown Raven. I'm not sure your name, but welcome, welcome. It is good to see you. Hey, Sherry, I see you. Kimberly, it's good to have you here. Some days Annette gets 10 ideas every second, can barely remember those. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so Ruth does well just to think every day. I understand that too. So this was what we're talking about. So underneath this was back in 2017. So underneath this is you can see all the writing. This is black gesso, okay? This is black gesso. And whatever I wrote down there, I can't tell you now what it was because I don't remember it. It's too long ago. Fortunately, a lot changed in my life since the date of this. So whatever it was not pleasant. And so this is black gesso, which is... It usually comes in a jar, but it's black, okay, as opposed to this, which is clear. It's a primer for paint. But if you get black, and Dina Wakely has a great one. This one is clearly empty. Dina Wakely has a really nice one from Ranger that's black, and you can scrape it on, which is why it has this kind of border. Scrape it on, it goes on very thinly. It blocks out everything that you write. It dries quickly. Hey, CB. And then, oh, Mickey's doing the artist's way. Cool. You're in the third week. That's great. It's a good exercise. It really is. Let your gesso dry, and then these are Moonlight pens, and I just start with a dot. In this case, I just started with a dot, and then I just drew designs, and this is totally freeform. But it transforms whatever is underneath there and turns it into something that is nice, or better anyway. And here is another example, same thing. This was when I was working in the composition notebooks. Same thing. I wrote, we didn't want to ever read it again, and so this was my thing. I just reread what I wrote. The first time I went through this course, so I don't know what course it was. Anyway, it's probably much better. I went through this course. It's probably much better. I think that tonight I just needed to write all this down so I could stop ruminating about it. So that was the explanation of what was under there. Black gessoed it out. Moonlight Jelly Roll pens. The Moonlight pens will show over black. And again, it's freeform. There's nothing planned about that. And there was more over here. And this time I was a little more careful. Not a lot, but a little more careful with making more of a rectangle. Still black gesso scraped on. The reason I scrape it is because it's really thin and it's very opaque. That's why I use black gesso. Because you can have a more transparent black. It's not transparent, but it's thinner and more likely to let the writing show through it, or you can get a really opaque one. Okay, just a moment. You know who wants catnip. I'll be right back. Come on. Yeah, it's your turn. It's your turn for your good stuff. Come on. Let's go. Yep. Here you go. Come on. Here you go. Here you go. All right. Enjoy your afternoon. Crazy boy. So anyway, that is what I was talking about, and what we were referencing is the black gesso, and then transforming it. And one more example is this one. Let's see. I have to find it. This one, same kind of thing. And in this case, this is writing. Okay, so I wrote it. I don't know what's around. Oh, I black gessoed it out. And then I used some metallic rubs like, yes. Like the Inca Golds, or Rub and Buff is the other one. And there's some other ones available around also. And that's what the sheen is that's on here. I just put some of that over the top of it. Before or after I did this. It looks like it might have been after I did the roses. These were cut out from wrapping paper. So I just cut out the various ones, glued them on. I painted the stems using metallic paint. And this is a piece of paste paper or some kind of painty paper that I did. I tied a bow and glued it on. But it's the same concept. So if you don't like the concept of doing the mandalas, if that's not your thing, then you can always do something like this. But the point is, for me, is to write, to get it out of me and stick it somewhere else, Otherwise, I do ruminate about it. So, hi, Noeet. Anybody I missed while I was rambling, hello. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. So anyway, I'm going to read this to you real quickly. I read the rougher version of this on Monday night. I'll read it to you now because there's a lot of you here that weren't there Monday. Rub and Buff. What did I say? Did I say something else? Did I call it something else, which I might have? When you're thinking about a lot of things and I'm controlling a lot of equipment here, watching a lot of different things, sometimes my mouth is not totally trustworthy. Hey, Janice. Sometimes my mouth says things it shouldn't say. And that is if I ever delete a stream, that's why, because my mouth has gotten ahead of my brain. It can happen. Yeah, it can happen. Cat hair. You shouldn't have to watch me blow my nose on camera. I'm sorry. If I was quicker, I would have switched shots, but I wasn't. So I'm a little tired. You know what? One of the things I've realized is that when I had that ear infection and stuff, it has really taken a toll on my stamina. It couldn't be that I'm getting older. It has to be that I was sick, Anyway, so yeah, my stamina's not quite what it was. Maybe it'll come back. Anyway, so I've been writing these things. They're not very long, but I'll read it to you. So if you don't want to hear me read, go get something to drink or go to the bathroom or whatever. These have had different names. One is Barb Wired, one is Barb's Musings. We don't know what it is. It's basically about Drama Free Friday and just sort of reflections on stuff, but it's stuff I can share publicly and as opposed to my journals. So that's right, Annette. We do. So this one is called Normal or Now. Have you ever noticed that everything changes, including normal life? I wonder about a lot of things that I never took time to contemplate because normal kept me so busy. Just trying to stay focused in the present required all my attention. When I was in college, my normal consisted of studying music and spending hours alone in the practice room, warming up with scales and arpeggios in preparation to learn and memorize dozens of pages of Beethoven, Chopin, Schumann, and Debussy, my favorite composers. I was the youngest daughter in a family of 5 girls. My normal path was laid out in front of me by the good intentions of others. I was to practice and study and eventually grow into a concert performer. That was supposed to be my normal. One day, as I was beginning my second year of college, there was a fatal car accident in which one of my sisters lost her life. Normal within our family exploded. I found refuge from loss and grief within the music, and I poured all of me into those alone hours with my composer friends. I still loved the music, but I lost focus for a clear life path. Months later, much to the disappointment of my parents, I married instead of continuing in school. I settled into a new normal life as a wife and stepmom to a 10-year-old. A couple of years of adjustments elapsed and our son was born. Figuring out my new role as a 21-year-old mother to an infant occupied most of my time. A creative seed within me once again began growing and demanding attention that required balance between home life and opportunities. Normal is rarely simple. Until my stepdaughter graduated from high school and 13 years later our son graduated and eventually left home, our normal life was blessedly predictable and almost boring. I never realized what a treasure those years were until life began to change again. In fact, with a single phone call, I found myself standing in quicksand. My dad, age 90, was headed by ambulance to a hospital. My husband went one way and I went another as we cared for my parents in 2 different locations. My normal didn't return for a very long time. In fact, normal morphed and changed until that became the norm. Eventually, my mom lived with us for several years. Normal is definitely a sliding scale with elderly parents. If and here's what's bad about that is I am would be by some most considered that to be in that category now. If an entire week settles into routine, it can create a false sense of security, and sometimes it's just the eye of the storm. After my mom was gone, I spent a couple of years with a psychologist until I found my footing again. Art and creativity and faith companioned me through the next several years of healing and discovering a brand new normal life with my husband. I ignored anything that didn't fit within the new paradigm I'd found. We practiced a daily ritual of afternoon coffee. We collaborated on many projects together, and we supported each other's interests. I began to notice an increasing dependence on the notebook my husband carried in his shirt pocket. He wrote in it during the day and frequently read it at night. Why was he doing that? In all the years we'd been married, had he always done that and I didn't notice? I had no answers, and I chose to pour myself into what I needed to accomplish day by day. Normal was changing right under my nose, and I ignored it because it was almost imperceptible. During the lulls between shifts in normal, life seemed sweeter and brighter and just nice. That's when I grew stronger in body and mind. I cultivated personal and virtual relationships. I poured myself into learning all the things I hadn't had time for. I expanded my resource library and embraced technology until my brain felt full of stuff that was sure to change. I loved that version of normal. Beneath my beautiful new normal, a bomb was assembling without my knowledge or permission. I'm so grateful that I didn't fully comprehend the extent of the damage the explosion was going to cause. Dependence slowly replaced the person I'd shared my life with for so many years. My patience was tested and frustration overwhelmed as a cloud of confusion seemed to settle around our lives. I lost count of the times I wondered what in the world was happening. The snail's pace of evolving normal could have continued for a while, but instead the perfect storm of a worldwide pandemic, an organic disease process, and a violent fall ignited the bomb that blew normal into 1,000,000 tiny pieces. How do I know the number of pieces? Because I count stuff. I've always counted stuff. I was married for 17,700 of the 25,500 days I've been privileged to live. I don't know why I do that. How many of those days were normal? Truthfully, not too many. As I grow and my life deepens, the concept of normal fades until I believe it will transform into the gift of gratitude. I have lived a life filled to the brim with blessings. Every moment of each day is my blessing. My perspective of the past, my present, and thoughts about the future share very little in common with the young girl who practiced the piano in a room by herself as she prepared for her pending, predictable life on a concert stage. It makes me laugh. I laugh so much more today than ever before. I find joy in the moments when I am able to make music, or in the moments of connection with people where my path leads me. I freely give and receive love to family and friends. I'm continually surprised by the creativity that flows from my heart and hands, and I'm profoundly grateful that I get to share it with others. Life is absolutely the greatest adventure. Some rabbit trails end in ways I don't expect. Others are sweet and reward me with so much joy that I feel a little undeserving. Clearly, I'm not in charge of the events of my life, but I'm always in charge of my attitude. Unless you think I'm stuck in Pollyannaville, I don't always choose wisely. Every moment of every day, I have a choice. I can choose to release my mythical version of normal, or I can be angry that it is only a myth. I can be overwhelmed by frustration that life isn't what I thought it would be at this point. Or I get to live in gratitude for this beautiful moment called now. Which choice shall I make today? And that's the end of that one. The next one is already brewing. I made some notes on it last night, so maybe I'll have a rough draft on Monday. Anyway, that's that. Speaking of gratitude, I received a gift. Hi, Shu. Anybody I didn't see? Anybody I didn't see or say something to, thank you for being here. Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me just sort of muse my way through the week. Oh, before I do that, I was going to show you some stuff from Chance. Yeah. Then we'll get on. We have some things we will actually do today. Believe it or not. Okay, so this is Chance last night. He was sharing something with me, and so I'm sure you'll figure out. I decide one of the privileges of living with a cat as opposed to humans is that you can have things like frozen custard for dinner, which is what I had. And then Chance decided he loves frozen custard, and so he licked all the custard out of the cup that he could get with his tongue. So it's very clean part of the way down. And then what he did was use his little foot. Can you see? And so he had lots of fun licking all the little licks off his little foot. And he worked on that a long time. And then when that was over with, when he was finished licking all and cleaning up the little cup, this was what happened after that. So he likes this hot pad, which I put on warm on my lap, and he snuggles in for a nap after that. And so that's what he's doing, because he worked very hard doing the dishes. He worked very hard doing the dishes. Oh, thanks, Chrissa. It's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. Chance is also taken to coming into the bathroom with me in the mornings. And for reasons known only to him, his challenge is to see if he can balance on a little tiny ledge in the bathroom. And then he's, of course, right in my way, but he's right there with me. Yeah, he's right there with me. And so, because my phone is right there, of course, what does one do but take pictures? So, yes. So, even though Chance is locked in the other room, he's still got his few minutes of fame. Hi, Marion. Good to see you. Okay, so I was going to show you this book. This is a book that my sister sent to me. He's in the chat. She sent this to me. It's a book on gratitude, and I just thought I would show it to you. It's inspiration and activity, so it's sort of a combination of a journal and, one of those books that kind of makes you think. So it's not a very big book, but it is something that you can use as a journal to record your thoughts or just to pick up and look at. So she sent this to me the other day, and it is a stitched book, It's a stitch bound book, and it's a paperback. I'm sure it's glued and stitched, but that's the binding right there. It's a little unusual to find a paperback right now that's stitched. It had a bookmark and another card here, so I took those off. And so it's a very interesting book. So there's the back of it. So if you want to look it up, I did not look to see if it was on Amazon. It could be, but I did not look it up. Oh, that's funny, Becky. Her cat Tippy does the same thing, but it means he wants a nice warm washcloth all over his face and his ears. That is funny. Oh, funny. So this was the card that Peggy included, and so I just tipped it into the book so that it's here. I added a couple of stickers from some sticker packs that I have. I added some embellishment to the words that were there, and the same thing here. I added some embellishment here. I just colored in all the spaces of the letters. And so I just thought I would show you some of it. I showed a little bit of it the other day. This is a great place where I can either draw things, write things, or put in those little sprocket prints, which I have that will fit just perfectly in there. The more gratitude you have, the more you have to be grateful for. So I added this, which is just in a highlighter, and then I just kind of outline some of the letters. But there, you can see the stitches here. So lots of things to make you think. And this page I thought was really interesting with these shapes. And so these are great places for doing some freeform mandalas or Zentangle patterns or just doodling, just all different kinds of things. Yes, Jan's talking about, is that a cat? Is that a cat, Jan, that used to sit outside the bathroom door and howl because she thought you were drowning? That is funny. Yeah, attitude of gratitude. So anyway, I just thought I would show you, and the nice thing is that the text is in different directions. There's lots of things that you can do, lots of things that inspire you and make you think. And all of us need to get outside our own heads. All of us. Not just me. All of us. Right? So, and if you don't have a book like that, you can make a book like that. A long time ago, Oprah Winfrey on her TV show had a whole thing about, and this is a very common practice for a lot of people, to write 5 things that they're grateful for every day. If you're struggling emotionally or mentally, that can really help you get out of a funk. I have had to do that many times in my life. Because I am prone to going into those places. So last week, what we did, just as a way of review, is we did these cards. These were using scraps. All of these are just little bits and pieces of scraps that I glued onto this card with a glue stick. I love this little stamp. I think she's a cutest little girl. Underneath that stamp, it says happy. There's 3 girls in a row, and under each one it says happy. And I love it when they show up in the whatever I'm doing. And this is another one, and both of these are done the same way, just a collage of different very thin papers. These were deli wrap or rice papers that I'd painted, stamped, etc. I have not gotten them mailed yet, Barbara. It is on my list of things to do either today or tomorrow. Yeah. But thank you for asking. Yes, they're looking at me over here. And then this is a die cut. This was a Biggs die from Sizzix, and I cut out the butterfly. You could use any kind of shape to do that, or you could hand cut it. Doesn't have to be a die cut, but it's just a nice way to use up scraps, and it's a fun way to use the outside of the die cut, and then you have the butterfly to use for something else. That's what we did last week. I really like those, and I think I'm going to do more of those. Then on Monday, I didn't know what we wanted to do, and so I asked everybody. Thank you, Jan. Jan left a super tip for Chance's custard fund. Thank you, Jan. Hi, Journey. Aw, thanks, Peggy. So this is a journal of, I don't know what is in this journal. Shall we take a quick look? I think this is one where I mostly did, I think this journal is mostly samples of stuff and leftover junk. Let's see. Where's the cover? Where's the beginning of this thing? Here it is. So this is a mixed media, Strathmore mixed media visual journal. So a lot of this is just leftover paint and stencils and junk, which creates wonderful backgrounds for a jumping off place, which is exactly what this was. Hey, Lena. Good to see you. If you guys are not watching Lena, Miss Linux 2010 in the chat, if you're not watching her channel, she's back to recording videos again. Sometimes she'll do a little live, and she does some of the most amazing things. Lena is the one that I have the whole package of things, goodies that are going to find their way to her. And the great part is she's feeling better. And so she's going to get to celebrate how much better she feels than when we were all thinking of her when we did these cards and things. Yes, her trespassing adventure was great. That was the video. I watched that last night, and I watched it this morning because I fell asleep on it last night. So I watched it again. We are so glad that Lena is feeling better. We are so grateful that you're feeling better. So, let's see, this was from a class that I did where we drew a knight together, and then we made a cape for the knight. This is just sample, some of this, you know, I never have one of anything. Never have one of anything. There's always multiples because of recordings and whatever. Sometimes in my journals I just do samples. This is samples of paint, and same paint, different background. This we started on Stream, which I never had a chance to finish. This was just a prompt. This was just random prompts that I pulled. That was about the ugliest page going, and more pages. A lot of the pages I ripped out of this. Anyway, this is the one. On Monday night, people wanted to do, they decided I should do a mandala, and so I did. And so I took a page that was like this. It was just, you just had random stuff. Actually, it had this same stencil right here, left over, that was right in this area. And so I started with the center of this stencil, which was right there. And then I just drew some random rings and then just started drawing a mandala around it. It's freeform and it's wonky because this is not round. The things that I was using were not round, and so it is very wonky. But I have to tell, here's more of that stencil back here. I have to tell you, I really, really like this. Everything that you see here was already on the page. And after I drew the mandala with pencil, then I used Inktense pencils, which is what these are, Derwent Inktense pencils, and a water brush, and activated the color. I guess I went over the lines first of all with a white pink pen. So I used a white Posca pen to go over the shapes. I got this far around here to the scallop section before we quit the other night, Monday night, and then I took it with me downstairs where I was watching TV, and I was looking at it because it's like, okay, it's not big enough for the page, and you know, what else am I going to do with it? And then I realized there was a shape here. So this shape right here was already on the page. And so what I did was just outline that shape, and then I just repeated that shape around, and then I used one of the colors from in here, the gold color, and added around there. So it made it now to what I think is an acceptable start for a mandala. So on Monday night we may continue with that. I'm trying to keep the two streams a little different from each other, and so I may take that and embellish it then on Monday night. We'll see, unless the Muse decides otherwise, which has been known to happen. But I enjoyed that. I like this. I like how this is turning out. I don't know. But if you guys don't like it, it's because then you have to blame the viewers, because they're the ones that decided. They're the ones that decided that's what we were going to do. All right, what else did I get in the mail yesterday? I ordered, I had shown this Bible to you several months ago, maybe a year ago. I don't know. Anyway, I ordered this. And I really like this because I couldn't find my Bible. I don't know where it is. It's here somewhere, but in this house, I don't know where it is. Life went so upside down for a while that things disappeared on me. Anyway, I ordered this one, and I really like it. I really liked it a lot. But I decided after, I don't know. I got maybe Amazon showed me something. You know how they're always listening to you. Anyway, I got this one because it just really appealed to me. And so I have done some journaling in it, you know, but it doesn't have a lot of space for adding art and journaling and so forth. I actually started in the back in case I screwed it up. So I started in the back. So this is where I was playing around with some of the different art supplies that I had. And then I started adding some more things in here. And I think I did some of this on stream. I can't remember for sure. Anyway, one of the things, here's some more. But there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of room to do this. Hey, Carol, good to see you. There's not a lot of room in here. And if you want to see some really beautiful art, Bible journaling, I don't know if Lena still has her videos up, but she did some really beautiful pages in what I think her son must have decided was his Bible, as I recall. But one of the things I did in here was to do these butterflies, and I have enough of this stuff left that I'm going to add some butterflies to this other Bible I'm going to show you. But there's several other pages I did in here, but of course, here we go. One day I was sitting in Sunday school, and there were some kids in Sunday school. There was a family of four kids actually, because for whatever reason they didn't have classes for the kids that day. And so these kids were in our class, and they were understandably bored. I was too, if truth be told. And so I started drawing with one of the boys who is quite an artist. And so we started drawing, and then I thought, oh, I guess I'll show him my what I had done in the Bible. And so I showed him some of those things, and his eyes got real big. He was 11, I think. His eyes got real big, and he leans over and he said, "Is that okay to do?" And I said, "It's my Bible. I can do it if I want." So I showed him those butterflies that were 3D, and all of those kids loved those. So I sent them a whole packet of, I sent them a whole flock of butterflies for them to put in there, whatever they wanted to use. So these were all different things that I added. This was a sticker like the ones that I showed you in that gratitude journal. But all of this is just stuff that I added, but it doesn't have a lot. It doesn't have a lot of space. So I got to kind of scooch stuff in here. I got to make it really fit in there. And although a lot of what I like to do is emphasize words from the text, sometimes I'd like to just have more space. And I don't know where I saw this, but anyway, I found this. Okay, see the size difference. Lena says, "Oh yes, my son wrote his name in the Big Family Bible." So he claimed the book. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So you can see the difference in the size. Okay. And when I ordered, and this one is already getting kind of bunged up. So I decided to order this, just take a chance on it, right? And it was, this is the price on the back of it, is $40. Can you see that right there? Right there, US, $39.99. So it's $40. And they had it, this was up from Amazon, and they had it marked $22.99. And you know what I thought? I thought that is a mistake. There's no way it's going to be discounted that much. When that's what the price was. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to order it and see what I think. I ordered it on Wednesday and it arrived yesterday. I could not believe it. Hi, Dorothy. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, it showed up. So anyway, here's I thought, well, it's got to be different from this one, right? I thought it'll be completely different from this one, even though it has the same word on it. It's, similar art. But I thought, oh, it's not going to be, it's going to be very different. But it's not. It is, the pages are the same. So if it's page 14 over here or whatever, page 14 in the new one is the same page. I thought, well, that's interesting. However, this is the good part about this, is all of the space. Look at all the space. For $22.99, I get all of this space that I get to do stuff. Yeah. Now, it's heavy, so it's not something that's great for, taking around with me, but it's great for here. And the other thing that I am prone to do, just because we know how I feel about writing, is I will take notes on things and stick them in the back, and then I never know what it refers to. So by having space in here, I can actually, do things like this. Now, there's going to be people that are watching this that go, that is sacrilege to do that. And please, if you think that that's the case, then don't do it. Don't do it. Don't write in it. Don't buy one of these. Don't do it. But anybody that's looking for something that is pretty and that has space, and the paper seems to be fairly nice weight paper. It's not heavy weight, but a pretty nice paper to use. I think I'm going to keep it. So I think I'm going to keep it. Anyway, then I also, because you know how Amazon is, they're so good about saying, and people who bought this also bought this, right? So I got this. And now a lot of you are going to be interested in this. I know you are. I know you are. Because who doesn't like a good box of washi tape? right? And I've already used one of these. Which one? This one. I used in my regular journal today. But isn't that a cool, just a cool squiggly tape? I love this. So I thought I'd show you these. And so in this packet, there is, I've forgotten how many, because some of these have, are double layers, or this one has 5 in this one layer. So, I mean, it's quite a bit of tape, actually. And so I'll show you I'm going to zoom in real close so you can see the patterns. So I showed you this one. It's just looks like little doodles. You will not believe the price on this stuff. And so those are just, oh, sorry. Help if you could see them on the camera. So I'll put these out here so I can keep track of what I showed you. Look at the sweet little hearts. And then this looks like lavender. And there are 5 little tiny narrow. I love these because I love to layer these up. Just layer them up, and they're not they're just sweet little designs. But I love to layer those up. I especially love this stripy one. I think that's a great one. And this is like little potted plants. Sorry, I know I'm zoomed in really close. Little potted cactus. And this one is just another kind of doodly kind of design. And here's a set of 3. But a lot of them are just, they're just color and design. They're just nice. They're just nice designs. I love this one. But I love that color. And who can't use a nice polka dot? I'll tell you what, that's a good polka dot. This one looks like a great Zentangle pattern, doesn't it? I'm sure that's a Zentangle design. This one, roses. That's a pretty rose design. Kind of a cabbage rose almost. That's a pretty one. And this one, okay, can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Little footprints and some leaves, a leaf design. And then this one is citrus. Hi, Alicia. They really are cute. And then tucked in the middle of this one is a tape measure. Now, it's kind of shredded on the one end. So, it's a little shreddy down here on this one end. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you can see that. But, it must be fiberglass or something. Anyway, it's inches on one side and centimeters on the other side. I don't know what good that is to have with washi tape, but anyway, there you go. And bonus, you get a mustache. And this has got to be a sticker, but I haven't tried to peel it apart, but it's got to be, yeah, it is. There you go. It's a sticker. And who doesn't want a good mustache sticker? I mean, really, And that washi tape, all this washi tape, was $6.99. $6.99. Hey, Martha. Yeah. $6.99, you guys. Anyway, so, and the company that has these, that the washi tapes came from, is MrPennStore.com. But I got it on Amazon, and it was because they knew that if I bought that Bible, I should have some washi tape too, I know, right? I thought that was really reasonably priced. And since I did that, Mr. Penn also suggested these stencils, and I thought, well, I should show you these stencils. because sometimes you don't feel like drawing stuff and you just want a stencil to do the work for you. Let me find a, let's see. Oh, I think you'll be able to see them against, yeah, you'll be able to see them against my mat. Okay, so there's a bunch of stencils. I forgot how many there are. Oh, that's cool. Heaven Bound Homestead. That's cool. She and her granddaughter are working every night in their journaling Bibles. That's great. Okay, so here we go. These stencils measure, well, I have my tape measure here, but here, we'll find out. We'll find out just a moment. These measure, that's why they included this, 4¼ inches by, what, 6, 7, 7. So roughly 4 by 7. See, the tape measure came in handy. Okay, so there's that one. So I'm going to just kind of quickly run through these because there is a bunch of them. Okay, there's a bunch of them. That Rhonda, she is on it, boy. She can find those links. Bless her heart. I couldn't find them as fast as she does. And I find them because Amazon tells them to me. But a lot of these have, you know, religious significance, but not all of them. And a lot of them are just beautiful little designs. There's that one. And this one. Somebody count how many there are, because I don't know that I counted them. It's probably written down somewhere. These are from the same company, the Mr. Pen. Mr. Pen, yeah. Okay, just nice, beautiful designs. So you can use a pencil and you could trace those and then go over them with pen and then fill them in with watercolor or ink or a felt pen, whatever. Just lots of little designs. Whoops, just put it the way you can read it, huh? That wouldn't be nice. Just lots of little designs. Thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on what you want to use. Look at that sweet little snowflake. Aren't those cute numbers? You got lines, little, I like the repetition of the little designs too. Somebody's counting, I'm sure, right? Labels, tickets. I like the candles. I think the candles are really beautiful. The dove is nice. Just some really nice. And then there's always a good piece of cake. You know, who couldn't add a piece of cake in their Bible journaling? I know. Mr. Ink Bleed Proof. You guys, 14, is that how many there are? We'll find out because there were many, there were different sets of them. Somebody needs to count. Okay, so far we've had, we'll count later. Okay, so again, so just some nice, those are nice hands. Nice hand designs. Good arrows, just nice designs. They're small, so there's some nice words. Some more label type things, or, you know, if you want to section off a section to write something or, you know, call attention to, or, you know, but look at those little designs. Just sweet little designs. All different kinds of crosses, different styles and kinds. More things. You could use this as to create a banner. Use that line and then one of these and repeat it as a banner. This is nice. Different kinds of arrows. So if you want to call out a passage or a word, and you don't want to draw an arrow. I mean, my arrows are ugly, I admit that. It doesn't stop me from using them, but my arrows are ugly. If I want to do a nice looking arrow, then, you know, it's nice to have a stencil. This is kind of interesting. Nice to have a stencil that gives you a good one. Shapes. And what's nice about this particular one is the graduation of the sizes of the shapes. Squares, hexagons, ovals, hearts, triangles, circles, and stars. Look at me. I know my shapes. Yeah. And then this one, So again, if you want to call out a passage or, make something highlighted, you can do that. Different kinds of banners. Another kind of thing where you could have a bunting of sorts. Little sweet little tulip. And this one. And who doesn't want a good cupcake to put in their Bible journaling? I mean, really, I just don't know. Okay, did anybody count? You think they're 14? All right, let's see if Rhonda's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Rhonda is correct. 14. And those stencils, that packet of stencils was $5.99. And it comes with a mustache to put. I don't know what you're supposed to do with the mustache, but anyway. So anyway, it's from Mr. Penn, and it has, they say that it's a money-back guarantee. They want you to be happy, and they will refund your money if you're not. So there you go. So there really wasn't any, there was no risk. So, yeah. So there you go. So the next thing I've got to do is I've got to put some color into this Bible so that I will quit acting like it's too special to use. Got to do that. So let's do some butterflies real quick and put in there, because if I stick some butterflies in there, then it's going to be used, right? And then it won't be so hard to start doing something in it. So I have my die cutting machine that was on the floor because it was there from last week. Yes. And what else do I have? Let me move some stuff. This is one of the dangers of streaming, is you end up with too much stuff everywhere. I can't put that on the floor. That would not be good. There we go. Goodness, what a mess. Sometimes it's a mess around here. You can work yourself into a little tiny box. You know what? Nothing flat. I can start out with my table completely clear, and in nothing flat, I'm down to a 6x6 area to work in. All right, are you guys still here? I'm just gonna put in a test the chat here because the chat stopped moving. Okay, we seem to be okay. So what I have is, I'm going to show you. We did these butterflies back, I think I did these with you actually, in this, that I put in this Bible. I think I did these with you at some point. And these are vellum. Okay, that's fine, no problem, no problem. I think I did these with you guys at some point. These are vellum that I put alcohol ink on vellum, and then I die cut these butterflies, and then I also ran them through the embossing folders that came with the these dies. And I was looking for more sheets of the alcohol inked vellum that I had, that I was absolutely certain I had. Except I don't think I have anymore. I think I used them up. So I found this one sheet that is done with alcohol ink. This, if you'll see, probably see in the background, there are shapes of mandalas in the background, and those were things that I did. These are my mandalas from one of the books of designs that we have. And I printed them on the vellum, and you might be able to see them a little bit better in the back. And then I put alcohol ink on it. This is the only one I could find that had alcohol ink already on it. And so we're going to cut this up and use it. We're going to cut it up and use it. Right? Why not? And I'm not going to pay any attention to the mandalas that are in the background. These are just all different colors of alcohol inks. Some are metallic. This says metallic down here. And I just, it's just a plain alcohol ink technique where you put the alcohol ink on a felt applicator of some kind and then stamp it around. And get some really pretty effects. So we need to come up with a piece of vellum that is about the right size for the die. So we're going to go, well, here, let's measure, shall we? So we need, these are 5, a little over 5 inches by 6 inches. So we'll just see if we can do that, shall we? I happen to have a big ruler here. So we're going to go, I'm going to just do this, and I don't have my rotary cutter in here with me, so we're going to just live dangerously, and we're going to just mark it with a pencil, and we'll be smart and do it the right way around, or kind of the right way around. So we're going to come down to here, so we're going to come this way. All I want to do is just know where I need to cut this out. And we're going to go 6 inches across, or 6 inches long. Okay, good enough. So I think I can see that. I'm sure you guys can't, but I'm going to cut this. And then we're going to die cut the butterfly. So we're going to do one big one, and then if I have enough vellum, which I hope I do, then we're going to do this set of butterflies. This is a die that I believe Ruth sent me. I think I said that the last time when we did this. I said, I think Ruth sent me this, and she said, yes, I did. If I was real careful, I could get some butterflies out that direction, but that's okay. We're not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna cut that off. You know, one thing about it, you can do more. If you made it once, you can make it again. So I don't spend too much time worrying about stuff like that. So let's use this die cutting machine. You'd love to see how I did what? The alcohol ink on the vellum? You want to see how I did that? Okay, well, let's do this first. We'll do things in reverse order. How about that? We'll do things in reverse order. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this butterfly. Which way do I want to do it? I'll do it this way. Yes, me too. Yes? Okay. All right, we'll do it in a minute. We'll do it in reverse order. We'll do the butterflies, and we'll go back and make the vellum. How's that? Okay, so this is a Big's die, and this is a big kick, or it's the same thing as a big shot. Manual die cutting machine. And out pops the butterfly. See? Isn't it pretty? Out pops the butterfly. Okay, and then this is left, and I always save this stuff because you never know. That can go in a journal or something. All right, so we're done with that one. And then we're going to use this one, which is the 2 butterflies. And do we want to live dangerously and see if we can get these out this way? Oh, well, yeah, no. Let's just save that piece. Let's do this. Let's get contrast of color. And so we're going to, this is the one that cuts 2 butterflies. So vellum on there. And here we go. Every die cutting machine is going to have a different combination of cutting pads and dies for the various dies and stuff. So you're going to have to follow your the instructions for your die cutting machine. And if you have an electronic cutting machine, it's even different from that. Right? Right. Okay, can you get some more butterflies here? We might be able to get those out of this one. So when the piece of paper is too long, you can just, what I do is I just wrap it around like that. Put the cutting pad back on. Let's see if we can get some. I mean, I'm notorious for getting it all ready and then shifting before I get it done. Hi, Stacy. Okay, so let's see if we got the whole butterflies. We did. Yeah, we did. Nice. So we got those two little butterflies out of that much. And this one has silver metallic. Since we're doing this, let's just do some more. So I have lots of little butterfly goodness. So let's do this one also, just because we can. Okay, let's see. Okay, that one's not wide enough. It's not quite wide enough. So we're going to have to choose. Okay, let's see. We'll see if this works. It might work, it might not. If it doesn't work, we'll make more. We'll make more. Now, the mandalas on that piece were printed to start with. So I ran that through my printer and then I alcohol inked on top of it. So I'm not going to be doing that part of it. I'll just do the alcohol ink. It shifted on me. It was such a nice butterfly and it got caught in a windstorm. All right, let's try it. See if we can do another one, huh? See if we can do another one. Let's try this one up here. That was pathetic. That was really pathetic, Barb. See, I told you. I told you that I'm not always so good at this. Let's see if I can. You know, if you got to laugh at yourself. If you don't laugh at yourself, everybody else is going to laugh at you, right? So you might as well laugh at yourself. Let's see if we got one this time. We did. We got one that time. See? And then this is going to go in the trash because we are not going to keep that little bit of stuff. I'm bad about keeping little stuff, but I'm not going to keep that. Okay. So then what you want to do is emboss the butterflies. And this takes a little bit of trial and error to get the right combo platter of stuff. It just sometimes takes a minute to get the right combination of thicknesses for doing the embossing, because these come with their own embossing folder. Okay, so this is the one for the two butterflies. You can see them there, and one part of it will push into the butterfly and the other part pushes up to make the embossing. So you kind of get to decide which you want to do. And so we'll stick one of these on here. I may or may not get this right the first time, or the second time, or the third time. Anyway, you can kind of place those butterflies in the area of the embossing folder, and then you carefully close the embossing folder, hoping that nothing shifts. Put the other plate on, except I just moved that. Looks like it's okay. All right. This comes with the die. All right, we'll see whether I've got the right sandwich. Feels like it was thick enough. Feels like it might have been thick enough, so we'll find out. Yeah, okay, so that was the right one. If you have it with too much, okay, can you see the embossing, the design? You can see it really well on the other side. If you have too much pressure, you're just going to, the embossing folder is going to cut into the vellum. If you have the right amount of pressure, it's just going to do what I did, which is emboss it. And that means it's just going to cause the impression to work, to texture that vellum. Okay? All right. So good fortune has smiled upon us, and we got the right sandwich, and so we're going to just emboss the rest of these while we're here, because why not? This is one of the harder things to do under a camera to show you, because it's big. And so there's a couple more. There's a couple more. But the vellum just impresses and embosses very nicely. Okay, we have one more of this size, so we're going to put it right here. Because the other one I cut him in half. And I have apologized to the butterfly. I didn't mean to cut him in half, but you know, stuff happens. So there we go. Okay. So here is the last one that we did. But you can see that having those the original printing. Let's see if I can get it up here a little bit more. The original printing, if you look at it, you can see some of the mandala in the background. It's really doesn't make any difference, you know, because when I fold them up, it's not going to matter anyway. All right, so we have one more butterfly. This is the big one. So we're going to put the big one in here, and I don't know which way I want it. I'm just going to put it in right here like this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time fussing over which way is going to emboss or which way is going to deboss. I'm just going to put it in there. Close the folder. Hopefully it stayed put. Put the cutting plate back on top, because you have to have the right thickness for things to work, which is the trickiest part, I find, of using a cutting machine. When you're doing stuff like embossing and all of that stuff, or using thin dies and things like that, it's a little trickier to get the right sandwich. And if I would keep records and write things down, it would be great, but I'm not good at that sometimes. So there's the butterfly, and there's the other side. So just depending on which side you like, you get you have a couple of different choices for your end result. Okay. What weight vellum is it? It's cheap, from Michael's or Hobby Lobby, probably Hobby Lobby. It is this one. It's called Clear. Yeah, it's Paper Studio. So this is Hobby Lobby's brand, and it's clear vellum pack, 25 sheets. Does it have a weight? $6.99. I've had this forever. There's no weight on it, so I don't know. It just says 8.5 by 11, and it's acid and lignin free. So it came from in the section where they have the scrapbooking supplies. But like I said, I've had it forever, so I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know. And then see, in this package, see all that? That's where all the butterfly trash lives. See, they just go back in there, and then someday I'll use that for something else, because that's the way that goes. Okay? All right, so I'll show you what I would do with these. This poor little butterfly. This poor little butterfly. As long as he was at the top of a page, he's trying to fly away from me. As long as he was at the top of the page someplace, I could still use him. So I guess he'll get to live another day. Okay, let me get rid of this. And who doesn't put their die cutting machine just straight on the floor? I mean, you know, why not? So let's figure out what page I want to put these butterflies in, because I'm going to stick these in here. I'm going to put them in the same page in my new Bible, so it's got something in it so I can't send it back. On page 799. That's okay. Where's pages? Okay, let's find it. 799? Yeah. Okay, that's where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it in the same place that I put the other one. Now, I'm going to show you what I did on the one before. So, in order to put these in, I folded the butterflies so that the body, can you see the body is going to be, it's not folded exactly in half, because I needed to have a space where I could actually attach the tape. So the body is where the tape is going to go. So the wing, one wing is going to be shorter than the other one. Okay, so I glued 2 on one page and 1 on the other one. That's what I'm going to do in this one as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take said butterfly and I'm going to see if I can just gently fold it against the body. Now, vellum is not super stable. You know, it likes to do some kind of weird stuff sometimes. So if you bend this back and forth a whole lot, it's going to weaken it enough that it's going to try to come apart. And if it does, I'll just tape it back together. Looks like this one, it's going to try to tear on me. So if it does, I'll have to adjust it accordingly. And so let's put this one down here. And then let's put this one in the middle. So we'll bend this wing over this way. Just see what happens. Yeah, so we'll put that one there. And then we'll use one more. Maybe this one or this one. Actually, I like this one because I like the color. So I'm going to use that one. And so for this one, I'm going to bend this over this way. Like so. So the body is going to stay on one side of the page. Okay? I love wildlife art. Welcome. Goldfishies? Hello. Okay, so the tape I'm using is score tape. This is 1/8 inch score tape, little skinny stuff. Okay, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to see how much I need, and I'm just going to use it. Well, let's see. I don't know if I can put it on the whole body. I don't think so. So I think I can only go about so far. And I'm going to put it on the body. Vellum is, tape always shows behind vellum. And so you just kind of have to be okay with that. You know, you just kind of have to be okay with it. But I didn't want to use glue when I did these before, and so I don't want to use glue this time either, because the other ones are still hanging out in my other Bible, and I look at them frequently. All right, I'm going to see if I can get the release paper to come off. There we go. Maybe. Nope. There we go. If I had fingernails, it would be really helpful. There we go. Okay. So this body on this one is on this side, so I'm going to put this butterfly right there. Okay. So there we have one, okay? And then this one is going to go on this side, so I need a little bit of tape, and it's not going to take very much, so maybe we'll see. Can't put it on the head because it's too... Alright, so this one is only going to go... Okay, now don't cut off his body, Barb. Okay, so I put a little piece here. Kind of burnish it down. Take off the release paper on the back. And this one, let's see, like so. I wonder if I could get another one in there. I'm gonna try it and see if I could get another one in there. So let's put one here. Even if they overlap, it's okay. Who cares if they overlap a little bit? I don't. We'll use this one. We'll do the same thing. I know I'm talking to myself here. Okay, I'm going to let the butterflies just kind of overlap each other a little bit up here. Like so. It's going to be fine. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so this one, I need to put a little bit of tape. I'll just tape both of these at the same time because that would make sense. It would. All right, let's put this on here. Again, I've cut it too long. So sometimes you have to adjust your plan. This is truly fiddly stuff when you start playing with little tiny pieces of tape and stuff. It's like, ugh. All right, we'll do one more piece about so long. We'll see if it's the right length. Okay, all right, then you kind of burnish them down with your fingernail or a bone folder or a spoon or a table knife or whatever you want to burnish them down with so that the tape hopefully remains on the vellum. And then when you pull the release paper, the vellum or the tape doesn't come with it. Okay. All right. So let's put this one. Now, the thing about the tape is you get one shot. So if it goes down and it's not where you intended for it to be, that's too bad, so sad, you know, because it's going to go down and it's going to stick because that's what it does. That's what it's meant to do. Okay, so we have one more, and we're going to put it. I got to try to get it so the butterfly wings don't stick up out of the book. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we now have a flock of butterflies, and then you close the book, and they are in there. And then when you open it, there they are. And I don't know about you, but I happen to love that. And then Debbie Boring, who is one of the viewers that I see on here occasionally, sent me this. Could be glitter. Ugh. Please, please don't put glitter. Don't make me do that. I will not put glitter in my anything. I don't like glitter, in case you didn't know. It does bring joy, doesn't it? So Debbie Boring sent me a pocket full of butterflies, and I think these are absolutely stunning. I think these are die cut, and she put them on, I have not put any of these in anything, but she put them on a piece of transparency or acetate or something. And so these are going to, I'm going to actually add these into my Bible as well. Probably not all of them because she sent me a lovely whole bunch of them. And a handmade, I think she did the pocket as well. The pocket's wonderful, and it's made out of vellum. But all of those can go in there. So, for example, let's say we wanted to put one here, you know. You can put or here, makes more sense to put them out here. Since we have all this lovely space out here, Barb, good grief. So they can be put in here like this. Or, you know, if I don't want them on the acetate or the transparency, and it could be cut down, you know, adjust accordingly. But they can be put in. I just think those are really neat. Or they can be, you know, kind of wherever. You know, they could go here. And then their wings could move so I could still read the text, you know. Or tape them down here at the bottom, and then they could be moved that way. I mean, there's just all kinds of options. So, put them in the center between the pages. Yep, they could just go in there just as, they could just go like this and just be in there, you know. As long as you don't open your Bible and spill them, you're in good shape. Anyway, so that is something else I'm going to use. So the good news is I have already put stuff in this, so I can't send it back. So that's good. It's like having a new journal. You have to quickly put something in it so that you're not afraid of messing it up, right? Bottom of the tab in the center. Yes, they could go that way. Yep, absolutely. There's just so many options, you know. There's so many options. All right, so you want to see how to do the vellum. You guys, it is insanely easy. All right, we'll color some vellum. It's been a while since I've done this, so since I told you, oh, it's so easy. Let's see if I can do it without screwing it up, shall we? All right. To do anything with alcohol inks, you need to use felt and an applicator of some kind. The felt works the best. Much better than the little sponge applicators. And the ones that I have that the felts work for are the rectangular applicators. And you can buy the felts, and occasionally if they're on sale somewhere I will buy the felts, but most of the time I just cut my own. So I have, this has Velcro on it, and then these are pieces of felt. Some of these are probably purchased, and some of these I probably cut myself. And they just, because it's felt, it will just stick on the Velcro like so. And it's a good idea to have just a whole bunch of them. Okay. Okay, not that way. Becky says not that way. Bottom of the tab in the center. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great idea, Becky. Great idea. Okay, so I'm just going to put this down, and I need to get some paper to put under it. So we'll just use some white paper here. And I've got to go get my alcohol inks, which are in a drawer, so I'll be right back. Okay, alcohol inks at the ready. One of the things you can do with alcohol inks, in case you're not aware of this, you can get, I'm sure most of you know this, but in case you're not, you can get a palette. I think these are still available. And these are palettes. Ranger put these out, and these have alcohol inks dripped into these little sections, the little wells. This is my key for what color is in what well. And then you can use a brush dipped in alcohol or the blending solution, and you can liquefy these so it's sort of like watercolor in that they'll reactivate as long as you use the right solvent. And then you can actually paint with them. So that is something you can do in case you're not aware of that. For this, you're going to want blending solution to go with your alcohol inks. I have different brands of alcohol inks. I have these are the Kelty ink, so I have those. I have not used these, and so they're probably drying up in the bottles as we speak because I have not used them. However, I also have Pinata inks, and I have the Ranger alcohol inks. So, can you tell that I like alcohol inks? I do. All right, so what you do, and believe me, these will stain your hands. So if you have to get alcohol inks off your hands, you want the product Amodex, A-M-O-D-E-X. It will help get them off your hands. All right, then you just pick the colors that you want to pick. So let's see what we're just going to pick some random ones. Aqua. We'll pick several that are sort of similar but not the same. This one is Limeade, and maybe, what is this? Stream. Okay, so we'll just use those. And you don't want this on your clothes, so just letting you know, you don't want this on your clothes. So if you have regular alcohol, you can use that, but the alcohol blending solution is really nice to have when you're working with the inks. I just open the inks, and sometimes they get very sticky and they stick. The lids sometimes will stick on the bottles, and so you just kind of may have to have a pair of pliers around. All right, so you put some ink on the felt. So I'm just going to put some different inks here. And none of these are the mixing inks, and so you don't have to shake them. The ones that are metallic or the ones that are the mixatives, those will have the mixing ball in them, so you've got to shake them to get the ball to disperse and mix the metallic in with the ink. Then you add some blending solution, and then you start painting. Okay? That is as hard as it gets. That's as hard as it gets. So if you want to do different areas of color, or if you want to adjust the color, twist and turn the tool. The inks will interact with each other. The way that they go down on the paper is not the way that they dry. They're going to do their own thing until they're done. So you just kind of add color until you think you're done. Okay, so let's say that that's all we want of those colors. Then you're going to take this. And by the way, here, something you need to know about alcohol ink is that if you have any breathing issues at all, you need to take that into consideration. Because if you have asthma, if you have Like a few weeks ago when I was having so many problems with the sinus infection and stuff, I could not have done this because the alcohol would be awful. Okay? It would be really bad. So you need to have a well-ventilated area, and just if you have breathing issues, then I would suggest you do it outside. Outside. All right, let's put some other colors on here. This is Mountain Rose. Wild Plum is one of my favorite colors. Is there anything in there? I'm going to use Plum, Wild Plum, and what else? Wild Plum, and here's a Pinata color, which is, here's another one. What's this? Flamingo. We'll use that. That's a Ranger color. And what else? Red pepper. Okay, well, I usually put 3 colors. You don't have to put 3 colors, but that's what I'm going to use on this. I use 3 colors because why not? So you can see as they dry and as they're, you know, I mean, seriously, that's as hard as it gets with working on the vellum. But you do want the blending solution to help the inks move. I take the lids off the inks and let them hang out. The lids just hang out, and then I put the lids back on them when I'm done. But you don't have to be in a rush to quickly put the lids back on your inks. So this one was Flamingo, this one is Wild Plum, and this one is Red Pepper. Okay, so you just squirt. I think Tim Holtz says you do a 2-second squirt. I don't know that was 2 seconds, but anyway. And then just add some blending solution. That's what helps the inks to move around. And then start adding your color. And then when they come in contact with another color, they will react and cause different things to happen. But if you want to keep like the reds kind of separate, then leave some space on your paper and kind of add those colors just into that one area. Okay? They are magical. They really are magical to watch. They will wreck your clothes if you aren't careful. So I would be highly, highly careful with your clothes, which of course I have on a good shirt today. Thank you very much, you guys. And then you just play and you just put down ink. So let's say we want to do one more color. So I'm going to put these away. Sometimes the ink will dry around the threads of the bottles, and when that happens, once I have one that sticks, then I will put a little tiny bit of Vaseline around the threads of those bottles, and that seems to kind of help that. I don't know that anybody suggests that you do that, but you know, that's what I do. Alright, we're going to put another felt on, and we'll put one more color on here. So let's use, that one's dried up. Sunset Orange is all dried up, so it is toast. Let's see, what do we have here? This is Sunbright Yellow. This is a Pinata color. And this is Dandelion. I don't know how similar these are in color, so we'll take a look. This one is Alcohol Pearl Alchemy. We're not going to use that right now. And Honeycomb. Okay, so we'll do these 3. Maybe we'll do an orange instead. What's this one? Valencia. Yeah, we'll not do one yellow. We'll drop out one yellow and use the orange. Okay, so we got this. This color is Valencia, so this is an orange. And this is a Pinata color, so this is another brand of alcohol ink, and this one is Sunbright Yellow. And maybe sometimes the lids just really glue themselves on, which is annoying. So annoying. Okay, so that's the tips on the two bottles are very different. The Pinata tip is much fatter than the Ranger ink bottle tips. And this one is honeycomb. And don't try to save the felts. Okay? Throw the felts away. They're a one and done kind of thing. They're one and done. And then you just play and then look at the results when you get the space filled. Look at it and see if there's something you want to break up. Like this pink kind of went all the same, so I'm just going to tap a little bit more of this into it just to see if it'll break it up a little bit. But you just kind of, I mean, you can go crazy and you can. And I'm not tapping the paper very hard. I'm just kind of lightly tapping it and just see what you get, you know? And that is vellum paper with alcohol ink on it. This is going to continue to change for a little bit. You just kind of have to let it do its thing and then look at it and see if you're happy with the results. If you're not, you can add some more. If you don't like what's on here, you can take blending solution, or you can take a strong percentage of rubbing alcohol, and usually you can get most of it back off. And that's how hard it is, you guys. That is how hard it is. Oh, thank you, Ruth. We all had a good exercise with you. So the Pinata inks can be used with the Ranger inks. You can combine them. And the Kelty inks, like I said, I haven't even cracked those open, so I can't tell you much about them. There are several brands of alcohol ink out there. But that is exactly how I created those other ones, the other sheets, which is what I did these with. Now this one has metallic ink on it, and so that is one of the metal mixatives, probably the silver from yes, Ranger. That's it. That's all you do. That is it, you guys. That is it. So from a distance, that's what it looks like, and it will look different on the two sides. So one side is much more muted than the other side, but that's it. And then you can just play with it. And so what I did on a lot of the sheets when I was doing these for some project, some class that I did, I would do one sheet of cool colors and another sheet of warm colors, but I would do darks, you know, like dark warm colors and dark warm colors and light warm colors on the same sheet and get a mix of the middle tone. So I would have a variety of things to work with. And then same thing with cool colors. So then you have on one sheet of paper, you can get a variety of colors to use. So it works really well. Yeah, I can cut more butterflies. They're really fun to do. So that was an unexpected thing I didn't know I was going to get to do today. Is there anything else, any other questions you guys have about that? If not, that is going to conclude that part. And let's see, was there anything else? And it'll take, on vellum, it takes that alcohol ink a little bit to dry. So you need to just set it aside. It dries pretty fast, but because it's any paper that's a non-porous paper, the alcohol ink papers or glossy cardstock or the vellum, any of that stuff, because it is non-porous, it will take a little bit because it's on the surface, so it'll take a little bit for it to dry. My clothes, I think, are safe. I don't think I got it on my clothes. So that's good. At least it's not a white shirt. That's good. Okay. Any other questions from anybody? Anything you want to see or any of that? If not, we're going to wrap it up today. Any questions? I'll be back Monday evening. And I will be here at 7 Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. You got to do the math for the rest of it. And I will see you then. I don't know what we'll do. We'll probably work on that mandala. I don't know. Could be that. Could be something else. I never know. The creative muse has her own mind. And she will make up her mind. And sometimes she will not let me alone until I do what she demands. I will see you then. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you then. And you guys have a great weekend. Remember to go do something nice for somebody else. Do something that you don't get any credit for. It's a lot of fun. Just do something that nobody knows you did. Makes you feel good. All right. I will see you Monday. Have a great weekend or a great week or whenever you're watching. Those of you watching the replay, thank you for watching. If you will click the thumbs up icon before you go, that'd be great. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd love for you to do that. Leave a comment. We'll chat. I'll try to get back to you and chat back to you. I'm not as good as I used to be on that. Thank you, everybody. I will see you when I see you. Remember to get creative today because you know it's easy. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.